to someone and I hit the period again, because period is typically something I don't use normally. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
made that my start stream key, and I was typing out a message to someone,
Oh my
and
God.
No.
I used the
That's a
period.
sneaky moment.
So I turned off the stream.
Oops.
This is why it's recommended to set them to like function keys.
Function or like numpad,
Hey,
I
Max.
guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Like-
need you to fuck off.
No. Oh, you fucking idiot.
Sneaky. What do you expect?
Square up.
You are the most boomer IT person I know when it comes to tech.
Yeah.
Frostpunk 2 was announced yesterday.
Frostpunk?
Frostpunk 2.
Yeah, it got announced yesterday. Did you miss that?
Yes.
Frostpunk?
That's
Yeah,
the
yes.
dystopian steampunk.
Oh, yes,
in the
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
the
Yes.
city,
Yeah.
the city builder. That
It's like Norway, 1800s.
apparently they're upgrading to oil over coal.
That's cool.
All right.
Yeah.
All
As
right.
I said, Norway. Maybe closer to the 1960s. We're upgrading to oil.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah, that's right. That's right. I played a lot of Frostpunk. That's actually a game I played a lot of.
Yeah, it's a great game.
I appreciate Sneaky just, I'm leaving. No context given. And Arn moves in and be like, he doesn't mean like actually leaving, he's just moving.
Fucking
Yeah.
Alright, so, let's get started for the night. God damn it. So anyway, this is a Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9004. I'm fucking Sneaky Devil.
Sneaky fucking devil.
And, we don't got Atin in here tonight.
He's dead.
Because my assassins finally got to him.
Well, I mean, yeah, isn't that why you're going to like the Chicago area?
Yeah,
the
you
last-
know.
Do it
The
yourself.
last message I got from him was that he was too sick to do anything, apparently, and he hasn't answered my question of what happened. So he's either dead or he is unconscious.
Well, that would be very
Yeah.
awkward if I showed up at his house and they're like, ah, Sneaky, you're just in time for his funeral. It's like, ah, shit.
Oh my god, that'd be oh boy, that'd be a problem.
That's
Yeah.
a case of good timing, I suppose.
It's gonna live
As
with these
they-
people.
Timing, certainly.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell my sister I'm moving to Chicago possibly, until I get there and move in. I'll just be like, hey sister. I'm just gonna no, not even that. I'm gonna fucking get my mother to tell me her address, and then I'm gonna drive to her address and just knock on her fucking door.
On your new
Be
number.
like, yo.
Drive to her address in a
what's good?
balaclava.
Oh man, how mad would she be on a scale of 1 to why the fuck are you here?
Yes.
All right, good.
Base, do it.
Heidi hot paper.
You better buy a fishing hat for that joke.
Oh god. Anyway, so let's get started tonight with this story. So this was this was unfortunately a very highly followed story for the Warcraft fandom.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been
I just read the summary.
So I want you
what
guys
did they go down?
before I can read the summary. So before everyone who's watching it now, everyone who's watching it in the future, I want everyone to stop for a moment and listen to what I'm about to tell you about this story's writing rate. Okay? 17 chapters, 48,000 words. So roughly 2.8 words, 8K words per chapter. Right?
Alright.
Updated April 17th. Published March 8th, 2015.
Oh,
Yeah, that's pretty.
There has been 17 chapters of around 3,000 words each. Over the course of 6 years. Imagine going through a whole year and then only getting 3,000 words in an update. Like, at least when Gray and I go for extended periods, and even Max and I, when we were writing, like, even when we went through extended periods of time where we didn't say anything, like we had no messages, no updates or anything, and then we would just come out and be like, all right, here's like an 18K chapter. Like, at least you got something for your time. But it's like you wait a whole fucking year and you're still in the same house that you were 2 years ago?
You know what, Sneaky? There's a certain community that can relate to that will forever relate to it now.
Oh.
Guts is still on the boat.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's been there for a couple years, and now he will be there forever.
The boat.
Berserk fans eternally molding. Excellent.
That damn boat.
As it should be.
So anyway, now I'm going to read you the description of the story. Imagine, now that you've got this firmly in your mind of, like, whatever the fuck this author is doing, now I'm going to tell you what the story's about.
Oh boy, hang on.
So this is called Gamecraft. A young Arthas becomes a gamer.
Oh boy. By the way, we do need a link to the story.
Yes. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
I mean, I guess we don't technically need it, but like at this point.
I mean, it's income convention.
Being a gamer is not as fun as it sounds. If anything, it's annoying. By the way, this is all of a quote, and this is Arthas. Why? Well, let me put it this way. Don't you just hate it when your parents nag you? Not particularly. I mean, I hate it when they nag me about shit they don't know anything about, but go study, go sleep, eat your vegetables is actually fairly useful advice, all things considered.
Yeah.
Yes.
Being a gamer means you have like a third parent, except this one never leaves you alone and hovers over you. It's like, wow, okay, so hold on there, buddy. Batman would like to talk to you for a quick second about having a third parent. I know some orphans that would like to talk to you about your complaints.
Yeah. Mr. Vodka Bottle would also like to talk to you.
Yeah, these
Don't you
Alfred.
just hate it when you have not only 2 parents, but 3 parents who care about your well-being? Isn't it the worst?
Yeah, dude. Fucking, that's so annoying.
Like, I was actually laughing with Nose Hair earlier.
Wow. He can laugh.
Because, no, we were laughing at my mother. Because she's very old-fashioned, and her way of quote-unquote helping me getting employed was telling me to go into a store and just handing them my resume to like the first person I see that's an employee there, and just being like, "Hi, I'd like a job." And she's like, "That's how it worked in my day. I don't see why you can't do that now."
Wait, was this recently, or were you guys reminiscing about your 2016, 2018? Okay, I was gonna say, like, today, there's a very good reason that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, no, this was like back in like 2018-ish, yeah, when I went down to visit her for Christmas.
Yeah. Wasn't that the year that she was like, why the fuck do you have a sword? Oh, Max got it. Tell him thanks.
No, that was like 2016.
Yeah. You still have that thing?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know why I'm asking that. It's a fully functional dagger. Of course you'd have it.
Wait, which one?
Stay strapped.
Wait, no, because Max has sent me 3 swords now. I need to know which.
The one with the white sheath with the black Damascus finish.
Yes, yes, that one, yeah.
The one that is actually a problem if someone were to test your home defenses.
Yes, the one I could actually run. Oh well, I did sharpen the Wazakashi. I still have to strip the handle off of that and put on like an actual grip onto it.
Yeah.
But,
pistol grip on it.
Yeah, and then there's
the pistol grip on my Wazakashi. Yes.
And then there's the sword cane I gave you.
I mean,
Yeah,
according to
honestly,
State of
so I'm gonna be
California,
real with you, Max. The bullet that's attached to the sword cane
I
might be
know,
a
it's
little bit more lethal than the actual sword part of the cane.
Oh, I'm aware. I decided out of curiosity. I took a couple stabs at like some cardboard I set up.
Yeah,
The bullet tore through it, no problem. The sword
yeah.
was like, but the bullet on that much leverage going behind
Yeah,
it.
it's literally. I really don't even need the sword bit of it. I can just fucking swing that around like a spiked shillelagh and just be like, die.
Might as well just epoxy it closed forever.
I mean, if anything, I would try and get a
That
better
is-
cane for it because that's wood. That wood's plywood and wood's garbage.
Yeah, that
Garbage wood.
cane's not great. The cane itself isn't great, but the handle is solid. The sword itself is
Yeah.
okay. It's mass-produced stainless steel. What,
Yeah.
what do you really expect from that?
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, so we were laughing about our parents and their inability to understand the modern era and how things worked. And so the specific story we were laughing about was when I was visiting my mother. We were walking by a tech place, like tech repair or whatever, and they had a help wanted sign in the office window of the building for the tech repair place. And so she's like, I'll show you, watch. Well, so we walk in. And I'm standing behind her, smug as shit, right? But she goes up to the employee, and the employee looks up and looks over to me, and they sees me being fucking smug as shit, and he's just like, he has this brief moment where he closes his eyes, and you just know he's like, oh, fuck, goddamn it. And so she's like, my son would like a job here. He looks over to me again, still smug as shit. He's like, okay. Has he applied online yet? She's like, what? He's like, has he applied online yet? I said, well, I mean, and he looks at her to me, he's like, yo, dude, have you applied online yet? I'm like, yeah, I already applied here. And he's like, okay, well, we're gonna have to process your resume and we'll get back to you if it happens. I'm like, okay. She's like, but can I just like give you a resume for him like right now and you can like look at it or whatever? And he's like, no, we don't do the hiring here anymore.
Yeah.
Oh man, she's still she just doesn't understand. She hasn't had an actual job in like decades.
Yeah.
So she doesn't actually like understand how to get a job.
One day.
Yeah. But anyway, so this guy is complaining about it's an adventure mystery story featuring Arthas.
That doesn't sound good because I've noticed fanfiction authors have a distinct ability to write good mystery.
Yeah. Well, most authors, not even fanfiction related, have a distinct inability to write mystery.
I'm gonna be honest, I usually just stick to whatever I'm told is a classic mystery author.
Anthrax shouts racial charge. Yeah, he should.
I mean, this game.
Did you just say Anthrax?
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
basically is.
Okay.
The guard
Alright.
drew his sword in a flash, waving it from side to side as if fending off a pack of prowling wolves. Why would you wave your sword around?
So he's back in the mine. Goes from your big kicks from side to side.
By the barrels, I said in what I judged was a hushed voice. Why can't you just say in a hushed voice? It's one of these authors.
Yep.
Just loud enough for the baffled guardsmen to hear, but quiet enough that the other night sentries wouldn't. Okay. Also, so by the way, to everyone that's watching, fun little fact, talking normally at a normal volume without any sort of urgency, concern, or fear in your voice is actually less likely to get someone's attention than whispering to them, especially if you're doing so while being concerned or feared. Because it turns out that as a pack-based social species, when people start sounding concerned around you and very quiet, you pay attention very quickly, because that means there is something around you that you need to be quiet and concerned about. It's wild how that works.
Could have seen this coming.
Yeah, who could have seen that coming? He looked towards the corner of the stone tower where the water barrels were kept, the expression on his face shifting from surprise to relief to curiosity in a span of a half second. My lord. Huh, sharp eyes on this one. Maybe that's why they gave him night sentry duty?
Potentially.
I'm just saying. Despite the darkness, he managed to spot me in an instant. My small body was comfortably concealed among the wooden water holders. The task of spotting, never mind identifying me, is made only harder by the poor visibility that flickering torchlight provided. Second off, torchlight isn't used. I know it's a Hollywood thing, and I know it's really a fantasy thing, but they always carry around torches. But just as a little notice, they didn't really do torches. Like, the patrols might be doing torches, but like guards on a wall wouldn't be doing torches, or guards guarding a gate at night wouldn't be using torches, because they need to make sure that their night vision is actually good, so they can actually see things in the night, so they can guard against them.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really weird how that works.
Yeah, it's like how you don't like flashbang yourself in a stealth mission.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Like, yes.
Almost like you should punch the flashbang before it blinds you.
Yeah, or just shoot it low.
Just cover the flashbang with your hand and it won't blind you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That sounds like a horrible thing you do to a newbie on day one.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Hey,
if it works on
okay.
Payday.
I feel like, okay, no, I feel like the police might, no, police and army might do that to their guys as a hazing ritual. She's like, all right, newbie, so this is gonna be your office, and then just like you hear running down the fucking hallway, someone's just like flashbang out, throws it into your office and dives. Oh, boom!
Yeah, that's probably like a day one permanent hearing damage
Yeah,
modifier,
yeah.
as well as a potential lawsuit.
No wonder
Fairly
everyone in this department is so loud.
True.
But you can be damn sure no one will ever respond to a flashbang flying at them again with, huh?
True.
It only takes
They'll respond
once.
by immediately shooting the taser in the face.
Now, I will say I did have another fun time where, so, my chemistry teacher in a New Jersey school was very, eccentric.
Oh no.
And so, she decided one day to show us, what magnesium looks like when it burns.
Oh no.
And she took a nice
Yeah.
thumb-long magnesium strip, and she's talking about magnesium, and she's like, holding it, waving it around, talking about its properties, its use as an ignition source and some stuff. And me, I know about magnesium very well because both flashbangs and thermite. Anything further will probably be self-incriminating, so I'll stop there. However, the teacher then takes out a match. I'm like, oh shit, flashbang! And I just duck my head as she brings it over to the magnesium, and it goes.
Yeah.
And me shouting flashbang got 3 other kids to duck their heads as I said it.
Truly.
Everyone else in the class was like, ah!
You know what? I appreciate that those other 3 kids were probably massive COD players.
They were. They were actually were.
Yeah.
They were COD bros.
Video games don't teach you any useful skills in life. I
But-
present to you New Jersey.
When you hear the
Flashbang out.
ting, you're like, oh shit!
Yeah. My fucking science teacher did a similar thing, except we all had protective gear.
we did not.
Yeah.
So
That's-
after
I
she
mean-
did that, she was like, alright, who wants to watch it again, but this time with protective glasses on?
Hmm. Yes. It's a brilliant idea.
And she did that to show us why we always
Man.
need to wear protective goggles on.
Man, I miss
I
when,
mean,
you know,
sure.
school was actually fun. And it wasn't all this Common Core horse shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say.
Oh,
Do kids even get to build air cannons in physics class anymore?
well, those are fun.
Not for my year. Instead, we got to make an egg case.
I'm so sorry. That's
Yes.
horrible.
It was bad.
I can bet.
We got to do some fun shit in school. In all the science classes, we got to do some fun shit.
Yeah. We got to make bootleg parachutes.
Here was mandatory. I was annoyed with that.
Anyway, so, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Shush, not so loud. The others might hear. I incline my head towards the direction of another sentryman down the wall. My lord, what are you doing here? Thought I'd meet the new guard. I breathed in some cool evening air. That's you, right? What is this narrative? Like, the dialogue I can sort of get, you know, the Lord's son out to meet the new guards, you know, I can sort of get that, okay, fine. You know, curious child, whatever. The narrative is what's really throwing me off. It's like, I breathed in the cool evening air. What?
Oh, shit.
Why are you telling us this?
Look who actually showed up.
Oh, hey, Jordan. I heard it was the season finale up in this bitch. No, it's sort of it's like a mid-season break.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, hiatus. The real heroes. Oh yeah, Jorp, did you know that Gray and I's story is now the 4th most followed story in the Warcraft section?
That's a big gamer moment.
It's a pretty big gamer moment, yeah. Yeah, now you know it. So anyway, say some pussy for the rest of us. Yeah, funny shit, man. Well, you'll be in jail, so you'll get to get all the pussy you ever wanted. What's your name? Falric, my lord, from Brill. No family name. My dad's a farmer. It wasn't what Skull or Nort would call a non sequitur. Blah blah blah. Farmer's knowledge of having last names. I mean, you would have a last name. You would just be called like, you know, Grill son. You know, if your father was Grill, you'd be called, you know, Falric,
Yeah, I mean,
Grill son.
depending on which naming tradition your fantasy world is based off.
Right. Right.
Because that's mostly like a Norse thing. Other cultures have their own conventions for what eventually developed into last names as we know them.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, Stormwind was supposed to be the British.
British?
Lordaeron was supposed to be either Saxons or the Norse. Because they were supposed to be more militaristic or something.
Saxons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
and
Nords
then-
were the Vrykul.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Germans, well, Saxon equivalent, may have had some similar, but not to the same scale.
I'm pretty
as
sure the Troll Guard
here.
are the Germans.
I mean, Saxon,
Yeah.
German, same thing.
Altrac
slightly different
is the
time.
Swiss.
Hmm.
Actually,
Yeah.
no, they're the Italians.
They keep switching sides.
They did multiple times,
I know.
and then they got blown up by the ogres.
Yeah.
Art imitates life.
Are you still 4 and 10? Yes, I'll be 5 and 10 in a few months. Even so, you'll be the youngest guardsman. No, the youngest guardsman in history. Your dad must be proud. Not exactly. He wanted me to take over the farm. He's happy for me, just not what I'm doing. Yeah, I could empathize with this to a degree. My father loved me, but he wouldn't be happy if I decided to abandon the throne and be an adventurer or something. I mean, you really can't compare a monarchy's requirements to the son of a farmer. It's like, yeah, I think my dad would be pretty mad if I also blew off our family business. Go be something else. It's like, aren't you like the heir to the country?
Yeah, is he an only child?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, that is nowhere near.
Well, technically he has a younger sister, but she's like 5 years younger than him or something. So if he's still like 6 years old in this, because he's child Arthas, so he's got to be like 6 or 7. Then the kid's basically like a baby right now, if she's even.
Well, in
born.
that case, well, okay, if he really is 6, you could probably forgive him for making that analogy then.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just like, bro. Bro.
Yeah.
It's a little bit larger scale we're talking about here. It's like, yeah, Falric here, yeah, his dad owns like an acre of farmland, it's whatever, and he thought his son would inherit it, but he didn't, and went off, became a guardsman instead, and it's like, it's not too bad, but still, it's not like, it's like, okay, family business kind of lost, but the dad can still eventually end up selling it off or whatever, and share crop it out or something. But it's like, I'm just gonna not inherit the throne. Just gonna leave an empty throne. Just gonna go become an adventurer, guys.
To be fair, there have been several occurrences in history where heirs have chosen not to inherit. And in most cases, at least like before the 19th century, that was a war. That time's equivalent of a world war. So yeah,
that's kind of my point.
it's not gonna end up well. It's
so,
happened.
anyway, blah blah blah. Best be on my way. Mom will be angry. Nice meeting you. Pleasure meeting you, my lord. So as I decided to sneak away, as I tried to do that though, however, I heard a trumpet blast and something popped up in front of me like a pane of glass if it was blue. Welcome, gamer, it said, before I felt pain. And I was rendered unconscious. The moment I felt the sting, I knew I was still alive and I was now awake, and I still looked at the words, Welcome, gamer. Gamer? Well, was that supposed to be me? But what game was I in and who else was playing? What was my objective? How do I win? How do I lose? Dozens of more questions clouded in my mind. Okay, first off, Arthas was an only child who hated politics. Now, we really don't have anything about Arthas' childhood in terms of, like, the noble structure in Lordaeron, because pretty much everyone was killed, and Blizzard was like, well, we really don't need to talk about this because everyone's dead anyway. It's like, alright, fair enough, but... Arthas went into the Holy Order at a very young age. The Holy Order of Paladins at a very young age. So I can only assume he very much didn't have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
or people that he even interacted with.
His confidant was Jaina, who was very high up there importance-wise
Yeah,
to 2 kingdoms.
yeah. So it's quite possible Jaina was his only friend. And Jaina spent the majority of her life, even as a child, doing magic stuff because she was really, really fucking good at magic stuff.
Yep.
That being said, gamer isn't a word I would expect Arthas to know.
Yeah, no.
I would also not expect him to react to being called Welcome Gamer with a pane of blue magic in front of him, being like, "Oh man, what are my objectives?" You know, it's like it's not like there's some sort of you would just like jump straight to it first. I would expect a child Arthas to at first either go to his father or Jaina, talking about weird magic around him, maybe Uther. If he's at that point in his life where Uther started to train him as a squire. You know, I would expect a lot of things. What I wouldn't expect is for him to just be like a self-insert OC who automatically knows everything about the gamer trope and is just like, all right, time to crack down and figure this all out. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. Because gamer is very much a modern word.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Also, that would be in terms of narrative. That would be the first thing. You should probably make a character who's not familiar with those terminologies. Be like, the fuck's a gamer? I know what a game is, but I don't like what. Also, on top of that, were they even really called games? You know, like the old centuries.
That's actually a good question.
Because game, when you said we're doing, you know, game, that's typically where I was actually referring to, like
game. Yeah, circa 1200 from Old English. Gamen.
Okay.
Joy, fun, game, amusement. Common Germanic.
Okay.
Game. Old Norse. Gaman.
Right,
Yeah,
there
so
you go.
it's an old word,
Yeah.
like medieval, maybe
Mhm.
early medieval, depending.
So good enough. Point being though
Yeah.
is gamer really didn't come about until people actually started devoting a lot of time to playing said games.
Yeah, let's actually see same thing. Oh wait, hang on. Mid 15th century, an athlete. Mid 13th century as a surname, Johannes Le Gamer. The modern meaning, one that wanted to play video or computer games, attested by 1981, 1975 defending.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Referring to D&D.
Yeah.
Gamester is attested from 1580s, but also sometimes meant prostitute.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, from 1550s as a gambler.
Yeah,
So it's likely that it could be in use, but more like towards gambling. Someone was playing games of chance.
So likely something a child would have never picked up on.
Yeah. Yeah, or if they did, they wouldn't really know like what it was.
Also, that's a really dumb question to ask. By the way.
Yeah.
Gamer, was that supposed to be me? Like, if a box appeared in front of you, you know, just one day you wake up and a box just fucking appears right in front of you. On it is just text, right? It says, "Morning, dipshit." I don't think anyone's reaction to that would be, "Who's it calling dipshit?" As in like a serious question. Like, maybe you might say, "Who is it calling dipshit?" to be like, "Hey, fuck you, buddy." But you still know it's referring to you. You're not gonna be like, "I don't know any dipshit. Who's this box referring to? I'm the only one here." Like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
This game ends when you die. Death with capital D for emphasis. If the game wasn't lying to me, that meant I had to play it.
Bro, what is this? Sword Art Online?
I guess. Encouraged by the answer. That's not the word I would use.
Yeah.
Congratulations! Against your will, you have now been entered into a permanent game that your life will now be turned into. By the way, it only ends when you die. Non-consent. It's like,
Yeah.
yay.
Is this rape?
I don't like where this is
rape
going.
hotline?
Just like, I don't care if it was like like it ended up being the literal gamer powers. I still would not like a situation where it's just like, hey, by the way, you're now entered into this thing, and by the way, it only stops when you die. Your entire life will now be amusement for other people. It's like, well, not much has changed at that point, but now it's kind of being forced on me, and I don't like it anymore.
I just lost the game.
Good. You know, it's really weird. It wasn't until like a couple weeks ago that people had started saying they lost the game again. Because I have been going since like 2012 without losing the game.
Damn.
But now.
Wait. Now? Yeah. You're
But now. Yeah.
Streak's over.
Streak's
Day
over.
F.
The game wasn't lying to me, blah, 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 blah. The more questions, despite that said answer, filled me with equal parts dread and terror. I mean, I don't know why you'd be feeling dread and terror from this. It's like, okay.
Confusion mostly?
Yeah, confusion mostly. Like, it's like, oh no, I'm gonna die. It's like, well, yeah.
Well,
everyone dies.
Yeah.
The game ends when I die. Well, yeah. A lot of things stop working when you die.
True.
Instead of another answer, though, I got a list. Name, Arthas Menethil. That was me. Class, the gamer. That apparently is what I was. Level, 2. I paused. My pride bristling from the insult. I didn't know how significant these level things were. But a Crown Prince of Lordaeron is definitely higher than level 2. Alright, okay, so you know what? I'll actually give the author fair game, author. Fair game. Fair.
On that singular thing, yeah.
Child being insulted over being called level 2. I don't even know what level 2 means. Fuck you, I'm the Crown Prince. Should be higher than whatever level 2 means.
Yeah.
Fair enough. HP, 22 out of 77. HP? What does that supposed to mean? HP stands for health points. That's the number that indicates your health. When your health reaches 0, you die. It seemed that this game didn't like me too much. Whenever it answered me, it always sounded like something to do with me dying. Well, you keep asking questions that involve with you dying. It's like going to a doctor and being like, so doctor, if you cut out my heart, what happens? Well, you die. And if you like cut my artery while you're doing this, you also die. Wow, doctor, you really don't seem to like me. You keep talking about how I'm gonna die if something happens. Yes. Because that's what the question you're asking results in. I frowned mentally, but I didn't move physically. Thanks, author, for telling us this incredibly pertinent information. Movement! I could tell, even without moving, was going to hurt. Okay. Mana points, 78 out of 78. Mana points, I was guessing, for magecraft, sorcery, and the arts of Dalaran. No new words appeared, so my guess was right. Probably. Then again, this game hates me and won't respond unless it's to do with my death theory could still be right. Well, despite the fact that I think it's stupid, at least you're keeping with the child mentality. Don't get me wrong though, author, I think you're stupid.
Stupid.
Strength, 7. Agility, 17. Intelligence, 13. Wisdom, 6. Wit, 11. Luck, 6. these. I had no idea what to make of. These are your primary stats, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. They do the blah blah blah. Wow, that's a lot of wow. Wow, it's a lot of statistics, author.
A lot of word salad right there. Yeah, I'm agree with you, Chief. I think this Arthas is showing rather non-childlike rationalization abilities.
Yes, 6 years now.
And,
to be fair, though, to be fair, let's be clear here. I did know a 5-year-old once that was smarter than a high school student.
An American high school student,
Yes.
which doesn't really say much, to be honest with you.
It doesn't. No. Now, that being said, however, Arthas is actually a fairly smart, intelligent man. With a fairly strong
I'm sure
will.
he is. Yeah. The issue is just like cognitive ability doesn't just like it's not something you have from birth.
No, it's definitely
It grows
definitely, you
over
grow with
time.
it, yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
agree with you there, but so
You know,
far,
like the age
I'm gonna say
well,
a majority, as someone who has, I don't know how to frame this in a way that doesn't make it sound weird, so I'm not even gonna bother trying to frame it. As someone who, by profession, has had to interact with a significant number of children.
That's a suspicious statement, but alright.
That is the best way to frame it.
Yeah.
Without it being a clippable quote. Kids can be surprisingly smart, and so far, I would go with at least a majority, so above 50% of what Arthas's narrative so far has been, I've been okay with as if it was coming from a child.
Yeah, however, one slight thing to consider there
Yeah.
is you've been talking to like modern day children, I'm assuming. You have been time traveling.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
And this Arthas is in what I only assume is a mid to high medieval.
Right, but you also
Time
have to
frame.
keep in mind that he is the best friend of one of the upcoming strongest mages in
Yeah,
the
I'm
entire
just saying
game.
like that.
And he's also the crown
Even
heir.
if he has that, that doesn't mean he knows anything about like game concepts.
Right, which is why
There's a very unique
all of this.
thing.
So all of this explanation of stats is the game explaining itself.
I know, but like how quickly he in the narrative just like, okay, I get it. That's
Children are fairly
it's-
accepting.
yeah. I'm just doubting that the author is actually.
Honestly, the main issue here is not so much the way he's explaining the game to the child. The real issue here is trying to suspend your disbelief about how the child's going to figure out how to make the game work in his favor.
Yeah, I guess.
Because there's a lot of stats going on here, and it's going to be a little bit hard to write a story that's going to have any semblance to being anywhere near the events of what happens in Warcraft.
Yeah.
With a child at the helm of like, alright, like if you gave a child, like, alright, child, here is car keys and a gun. The more people you shoot and the people you run over with the car, the more money I'll give you. And like that's literally what's happening. This is like here, child, I will reward you for being a murder hobo. Like this is not going to end in like the child going, oh yes, but if I only kill the bad people, I'll be able to salvage a good reputation. No, no, the child's just be like, lol, shoot people, get money.
Yeah.
So anyway, then Arthas kind of just stands there for a while, not sure what to do. And then the game's just like, surprise, also, by the way, you have a title now. As the heir apparent to the Eastern Kingdom and a certain nobility, it compels other people to listen to you. And it provides a bonus to your battlefield presence, which is a skill you don't have yet. You have gained the status effect left ankle sprain. Movement speed and agility are reduced by 30%. Slowly, and suffering from a great deal of pain, I peel back my eyelids, as if awakening from a long winter sleep, and in a way I kind of was. It was bright in the room I was in. Okay, so just throwing this out here immediately right now. Arthas would be at full health.
Yeah.
He is the crown prince in a land of multiple sects of holy priests that the simplest spell to do with heals people.
Yeah. I mean, that's not even like considering the rather standard video game mechanic, especially Gamerstar mechanic of you slept in a bed, you're now at full HP. Which,
Right.
I mean, in fairness, that's not always a thing, so, you know.
Yeah,
Sure.
right. It might,
But it's a fairly common trope.
Yeah, it might not always be a thing, but it's just like literally a healer on hand for the crown fucking prince. Like, bruh, come on. They wouldn't just be like, all right, just put him in a bed and leave him there to die. It's like, what?
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll walk it off.
Welcome back. Can you tell me your name? That was silly. Why would he ask me that? I was the prince. Very few people wouldn't know my name. Some water first. Blah blah blah. Arthas Menethil. What's yours? Cleric Abernathy. So he literally got picked up by cleric and hasn't been healed.
Bro, fire that fucking cleric.
Cleric Abernathy nodded, pleased for some reason. No, not because he seemed pleased, but because of what I saw. The Healing Hand, Cleric Abernathy. So Healing Hand is a priest sect. I may not have met many people, but I'm pretty sure normal people didn't see floating words. Was I still human then, or did the game turn me into something else? You are gamer. Not helpful at all, game. You were seeing shit earlier. I don't know why you're like, oh, now that I can see numbers over people's heads, I must not be human anymore. Like, bro, you were literally just having a conversation not even a second ago where you're seeing fucking numbers. The numbers, Arthas, what do they mean? Your parents got quite a scare, Prince Arthas. They rushed me here to attend to you. Thankful you are young and healthy, and I was already in the city doing research. There's no lasting damage. There's no lasting damage. There's no lasting damage. There's no fucking lasting damage. Really, author, there's no lasting damage? Then what does 22 out of 77 mean? It's like, cleric, please come and heal our son. All right, I will come and heal your son. All right, ma'am, queen, king, I have looked at your son, the fucking prince, and I have determined that there is no lasting damage. Therefore, I don't need to heal him.
No, that's a 5-head play.
Would you like anything to eat? Yes, please. Tell the kitchen to prepare a meal for the prince. Blah, blah, blah. I'm feeling weaker for the next few days. If you need to eat, why don't you heal him? I have healed you. What the? Yes, I've healed your ankle, but I suspect it will remain weak. What priest did they pick up? He healed the ankle, but he's still suffering from sprained ankle?
Bro.
It... Author, pick one. Like...
Yeah, like, I don't know if this author knows how healing works and why.
I'm just gonna play this video real quick. You know, just gonna play this video real quick.
Oh god, the fuck is gonna play a video real quick.
Gray's seen this one, but a number of times probably.
Why do we have the cinematic trailer up? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here we go. So, this is the part everyone should pay attention to right here. So, big giant battle, right? Big fuck off battle, right? Mm-hmm. So, Anduin looks around and sees his men stabbed, dying, arrows in them, you know, bleeding out pretty badly. Some of them are even dead. Now watch what he does, right? Right, so holy light, yeah, he's reaching out for some holy light. He's got some nice holy light going on here. Big old heal bubble, he's about to pop. And oh, the dead guys are getting up. Oh, the people who were stabbed are getting up. The people who've been shot with arrows are getting up. This dude, by the way, isn't a paladin. He is a warrior. He has been never trained in the holy arts. Oh, no, sorry, he was a priest, that's right. So he was trained in the holy arts, but like... Dude, not for long. Most of his life he wasn't trained. Like, very, very adept priest, like, very... He's skilled, but he's very early in his life as a priest.
Okay.
And he was able to heal an entire fucking battlefield. Now, admittedly, he's a little bit special when it comes to WoW lore, but he was able to heal an entire fucking battlefield.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, bro.
From 0, dead, to full.
Yeah, I'm with you, Chief. I thought people died when they were killed.
And here we have a question mark cleric Abernathy Downhall, who is telling the crown fucking prince. Yeah, okay, so yeah, he looks like to be an OC. He was telling the crown prince that he has healed the sprained ankle and healed up Arthas. That he might be weak for a couple more days. Like, this is not even like a third-rate priest at this point. This is like a fifth-rate priest. Like, they must have found some dude, put him into cleric robes in like a back alley. Like, hey, you beggar, here's some cleric robes. Now come heal my son, the fucking prince. Like,
yeah.
Author.
Like, come on, bro. Just don't bully him. We just started the game, man. Come on.
So you got blah blah blah, you know, words and stuff. Can I make a confession, cleric? If you believe that your fall is the light's retribution on you and accidents happen, have you ever met anyone who thought of that? Your sister raises a point. Oh, wait, what? What? Huh?
Huh.
Wait, can I make a confession, cleric? Abernathy's brows drew. If you believe the light will fall retribution on you, it's not that. It was my turn to look confused. Have you ever met someone who thought that? Your sister raised the point. Oh. His 2-year-old sister raised the point. Wait.
Yeah, I have no idea what fucking time scale this retard's working on.
Author, what the fuck are you doing? Also, that was a really like, oh, that could have been phrased so much better because I could not follow that conversation. I thought you might be the same. No, my confession isn't repentance for sins. I just, my words failed me. You think it's to express what I was experiencing? It's like trying to explain what the color was to a blind man. And okay, so this is right here. I do have to agree with Arn. This is some very advanced thought of like the kid being like, it's like trying to describe the game to someone is like trying to describe color to a blind man. It's like, bro, this is like really advanced fucking thought going on here. Aren't you like 7?
Maybe.
It was a good thing the cleric was a patient man. This isn't a confession, at least not the type you're used to. I've heard many crazy things. You're gonna think I'm crazy. Try me. I've been seeing things recently, as in like literally what caused my accident. In fact, it's why I fell. I see words, cleric. Words? What sort of words? Can you see the words? I can understand them. They're in human tongue, so it isn't demon corruption. Then go on. Alright, that's fair enough. The words, they float in the air. I'm the only one that can see them. At least I think I am. It's beyond strange, like my eyes are looking through a window with writing on them. And what the words say? I don't know. They call me the gamer. The gamer? What game are you playing? I don't know. Life, maybe? Like, this is some philosophical shit going on here. Like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
The words aren't helpful. And you're certain these words caused your fall? I'm not very clumsy by nature. You can ask me that. You can ask anyone that. No, I fell because I was taken by surprise by the words. It's not normal. I see. Do you have more information? 2 more things, cleric. First, it recognized me being the crown prince. That gives me more battlefield presence, whatever that means. It also told me my ankle was sprained. The second, it showed me numbers that told me my health, mana, and attributes. So this is the other thing, right? I would actually expect if we're going with like how lore would turn out in the Warcraft world. I would not be surprised at all if arcane mages came up, because arcane mages are mages who study order and the like literal nitty-gritty of reality, so physics and shit as well, like what composes everything and etc. What is effectively, and I wouldn't be surprised if an arcane mage just came up with a spell to like quantify how healthy they were into a number, or how much mana they had access to into a number. Like, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Am I the only one here?
I wasn't paying attention, but
Yeah, I expected as much.
I probably agree. Sure. Also, Gura just went live. Well, she's going live in a moment.
Yeah, with,
Gura Demolition Derby Inc. Minecraft.
Oh, is she not playing Crazy Police or whatever?
No, she decided to switch to Minecraft instead for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Today is block game, is what she said.
The game is broken?
No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go schizo on it. If you believe her, she changed her mind.
You know what? Honestly, I've seen Police Simulator. There's literally no content. So she probably like looked it up a little bit and oh well.
Mayhaps.
Okay. Let's keep going. Honestly, I'm surprised you haven't written me off. The thought occurred to me, but then again, I'm experiencing cases similar to yours.
What?
Not in terms of what you're describing, but I admit it's new. Rather, cases where I thought the person I was treating was crazy, but further proof oh, okay, so they're going with that. Well, again, could have been worded so much better, author. It's taught me to not discount things right away. Alright, so apparently this dude is a very experienced priest who couldn't fucking heal him. Okay.
That's useful.
Yeah. Do you think there's a cure for this? Okay, so honestly, again, this is another part of when you're picking your fandom. So, when you're trying to write a gamer story for, say, a medieval fandom, right? If there's magic in this fandom, the typical go-to for someone who is suddenly starting to see numbers and everything quantified as numbers and words are like they're being told shit now, like, oh, your athletic skill has just leveled up. They would probably blame magic first. Like, it's not like a disease you have. Like, oh, is someone casting a spell on me? Have I been cursed or blessed by a god or a demon? You know, like, there's a lot of other go-tos that people would jump to instead of this is a disease that has to be cured. You know, because magic is a known thing in this world. And again, it's like, why do you need to see a healer about this? You're being told exactly how healthy you are. Oh man, yeah, that's just the worst. Being told exactly how healthy you are and exactly what's wrong with you to make you not healthy. That's such a curse to have, man. I want to cure that.
Fuck you.
What?
Yeah.
wait, what? I want to cure
I mean,
for
alright.
information.
Let's be somewhat fair here. In a world with curses, gods, demons, all that kind of shit,
Right.
you know, to have something happen to you that's unknown is probably, at least like initially, something you would want to get rid of, because, you know, new is
Right,
often
but here's
bad
the thing,
humans.
right, but like you
Yeah.
would go through the levels of like, oh, what's this? Oh, this is weird. Oh, this could be helpful. Oh, I'll go see the local priest about this first. I'll go see the local mage about this. Like, there is avenues you can explore before you start full on panicking.
Yeah. Like,
Like,
sure.
now, to be fair, if like you start seeing words and numbers and start being like, oh, you'll kill this person for 5 XP, I would be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go see a doctor immediately about this. But if it's like, here are the words and numbers you see. You are X strong. You have X amount of health. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm really not panicking right now because the words and
Yeah.
numbers aren't exactly telling me to like go kill people. They're just telling me how healthy and fit I am. That's
Yeah, but like at the same time, you also come in with the initial knowledge of, okay, this is a system, a game system, which sure he had it explained to him, but having something explained to you and actually understanding it are two very different things.
right, but even if I was in a scenario where I didn't know about the game system or even video games in general, and I just started seeing shit, I would be concerned about that, don't get me wrong. But the stuff I was seeing was like, this is how healthy you are, this is what has currently injured you. I wouldn't be panicking going, oh my god, this is like demon corruption or disease I've caught. I'd be like, okay, this is fucking weird. Is like a mage testing something out on me? Have I been blessed by God? You know,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be my first assumption because it's not immediately malicious. Obviously, you would still want to be like, I want to go get this checked out. I obviously don't take anything that it tells you with like any sort of truth to it, you know.
Yeah.
But
It's more like we don't know if it's actually good or bad, depending on.
right, if it's like, you know, your level is like, you are level 1 and you have 0 out of 20 XP, and then you like kick a rat and it's like 5 XP, you killed the rat. And I'd be like, it's telling me I should kill things. I'm gonna go see a priest about this.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's also about like what the game's been telling me so far, and so far it's been very benign, which
Yeah,
you know.
sure.
Also, I wouldn't say cure. I would say if anything, it would be like, can this be dispelled or something?
Yeah.
Also, the priest brings up literally the shit I just said. If there's a cure, we'll find it, but what you have is not necessarily an affliction. Again, I don't know why the child would think it's a disease. That's really weird. What you've said so far just seems to be a minor nuisance and not dangerous. It also might be helpful for self-diagnostics. Right, this is literally what I just brought up, so I don't know why the author is having the child be like, oh my god, it's a disease, if he literally was easily able to pick apart why no one would ever say this is a disease.
Yeah. The author has about the logical consistency of a brick.
Well, no, he had one
never mind.
character say something stupid, and then he had another character explain why what they said was stupid, and it's like, okay, well, if you, the author, acknowledge that even considering that idea in the first place was stupid, why are you having a character that's supposed to be arguably intelligent say it?
Simple answer. The author is also stupid.
Yeah, the author's also stupid. You'll help me. I'll do what I can. Ping, making an excellent choice increased your whiz. Something the matter? More words showed up. My wisdom has increased by 1 for making an excellent choice, which apparently was telling you about my problem. I'm starting to like these words I see. Not too much, I hope. We're trying to get rid of them all. Again, Arthas is for some reason just flat out against this idea. Just period. Like, despite the fact that nothing malicious has happened so far. Like, it just, he just arbitrarily was like, the game hates me, it wants me to die. For no apparent reason, and has decided that he doesn't want the game because of this logic that he just spontaneously generated. I
mean, would that be a far better story? Oh look, there's a curse on you. Let me just dispel that for you real quick. Bless.
600 word one shot.
Story's over. GG boys, we got him.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird. In 4 days, my health points finally restored. 4 days to heal 55 damage?
That's a shit fucking healer.
Either A, your healer's shit, and B, your natural regeneration is also completely ridiculous. Either 4 days to heal from a sprained ankle, which is crazy. Also, you didn't hurt yourself in any other way. It was... You tripped and fell downstairs, but the only thing that was injured was a sprained ankle?
Apparently so. Also, the fact that a fucking sprained ankle is apparently equivalent to like 2/3.
55 damage, yeah.
Yeah, actually more than like probably about 75% of his health. I can't do math, it's too late.
I mean, it's even worse if you think about it, because apparently the priest healed him. So...
True.
So the sprained ankle alone apparently nearly killed him?
Damn, bro.
That's a hell of an injury.
Sounds like he's got some of those good old Habsburg genes.
You're right.
His heart was as black as coal.
The day my status effect disappeared, I jumped around, and true enough, my sprained ankle was gone. Cleric Abernathy was right. The thing might be useful after all. As opposed to literally every other moment where it was useful?
Apparently so.
It's just, life continued normally, except occasionally the gamer would pop up with messages. By now I was used to all of the updates, and it no longer gave me pause. What else do I need to tell the audience? Oh, Scholar Nort was pleased I was taking a greater interest in mathematics, something I never showed enthusiasm for. That gave me a +1 for intelligent, vigilant studying. Why was I attacking mathematics with my youthful vigor? Truthfully, I was trying to figure out the math behind my stats. I knew that an increase in my primary stats had an effect on my secondary ones.
Motherfucker's trying to data mine his goddamn special ability.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you imagine like
Oh,
if it was like some gamer story or whatever, where the fucking gamer literally learns hacking and hacks into the fucking game system?
Hacking level maxed. All right, I can finally do what I was always trying to. Strips, puts on only a bathrobe, puts on sunglasses, gets out 3 laptops. I'm gonna hack the gamer. Hacking UNATCO, hacking Statue of Liberty, hacking the gamer.
Hacking reality.
No, he needs the power glove for that.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he's just gonna go fucking.
He has to
Beat
hack time
him.
first to go back in time to when
Yeah,
they made them.
no, dude, he has to go on a fucking adventure to beat Mario 3 in a tournament. Have you guys seen that movie?
Oh god.
Fucking.
Oh boy.
What's that called? Hang on.
wasn't that
The
the wizard or
Wizard?
some shit?
Yeah. Yeah. 1989, The Wizard.
Yeah, fucking movie.
Fucking classic.
See, that's why I liked Kung Fury a lot, because it's Hacker Man, and it was like so
Yeah.
stereotypical. It's like he just had like
Yeah.
8 TV screens, and like half of them didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's all just fucking lines of code. God. Yeah,
The
I mean,
numbers.
I think my
What
favorite
do
scene
they
in that
mean?
movie was when like Hitler just fucking calls the police station and
This
puts
is
on a
the
gun.
Chief of Police, yes, bang,
Bang.
bang, bang. Oh, the SS game machine was also pretty good.
Yeah. Fucking classic.
I got bit by a rattlesnake while hit by lightning twice.
Oh yeah.
Case in point, my MP had increased twice. After getting a point in Wiz, it jumped from 91. It jumped to 91, and then the +1 in Int made it go up to 98. It made sense that my secondary stats increased when my primary ones did, because there didn't seem to be a way to raise them directly. Well, I mean, this is a very intelligent child again, this is what I'm saying here. By how much they increased, I didn't understand yet. What do you mean you didn't understand yet? It's really
That's
fucking
like the
simple.
simplest part of this
This is
thing.
like, it's literal basic addition and subtraction. So okay, so you had 6 wisdom now, and you have 78 mana, and you have 13 intelligence with 78 mana, right? So you gained 1 wisdom and went up to 91, and then you gained 1 int and it went up to
98?
98, was it?
Yeah. 98.
Yeah, okay, so wisdom, so int makes it go up by 7, and wisdom makes it go up by fucking like 18 or something.
Yeah. Wow.
It's like, wow,
Amazing.
basic fucking math. I don't know why you need to study advanced mathematics for that, but okay.
Well, I mean, you know, Middle Ages be like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Um,
you could argue for the time period that was advanced.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think so, considering... So the problem is you can't really use Middle Ages math for this, because arcane mages are literally like, hyper-physicists, effectively.
Yes.
Because of the shit they have to learn to cast their spells, because their spells operate off of order.
Which is a whole lot of structure.
Yeah,
and
which
a whole lot of
it's literally like everything is manufactured in part out of order. So you can't make a fire be like output leaves, like you can't do that because that's not what fire outputs.
Yeah.
So the stronger of a mage you are and the more mana you can put into it, it's been shown that you can bend how much order functions in the spell. But yeah, literally as a mage you pretty much just have to study like physics, literal chemistry to understand how spells work. And it's like, bro, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, advanced mathematics is 100% a part of the WoW verse.
Fair enough then.
Okay.
In that case, I guess he's retarded.
Yes, this is also a possibility.
This was
Um,
known.
Sorry, scholar, I was thinking about math again. I wish you imply your enthusiasm to other subjects. I just don't understand the point of learning history. Sure, math might be helpful for taxes. Unbased. Cringe.
Cringe. Cringe.
But what does learning about dead people do? Because if you paid more attention, you would not only know how taxes raised and lowered and how much people can shoulder. The Arathor Empire was undone because their taxes were so high.
Good.
He
Fuck
looked
them.
ready to pull out his hair. I was half ready to see if his hair would be pulled out, but I doubt Mother would be appreciative of that. Blah, blah, blah. My words aren't getting to you. Let's call it a day. I oblige, skipping out of the room. The quest apologizing for Nord has been created. Reward XP. Failure penalty, decreased closeness. You have 5 minutes. I stared at it for a whole half a minute. Are you kidding me? Are you my mother or something? Timer started to tick down. Fine, fine, I'm going. Blah blah. About what I said, Nort, I'm sorry, I really am. I gave him an earnest look. It's fine, Prince Tharsis, I can't blame you. You're only fucking 7. So again, 7 here. This is what I was talking about. He's freaking 7.
Yeah.
And so this is cringe. Also, there's no XP bar. So far, this is a slapdash attempt, as we can obviously see by the word count and how long it takes for him to update between chapters. Really disorganized. He has no idea what he's doing with any of the stats. The fact that he's not showing us the rest of the stats just means that the author themselves has on some level acknowledged that actually trying to genuinely track all of those extra stats is going to be stupid. Which my response to that is, then don't fucking include them.
Big true.
You can just say, I'm moving faster now. Oh no, I've sprained my ankle, I've gained status. Sprained ankle decreases movement speed. How much? It just decreases it.
Yeah.
And then you just have the character move slower. You don't have to apply numbers to everything. In fact, the better gamer stories are the ones that don't apply numbers to everything.
Yeah, like, as much as I like to shit on him, Shiro, he's fairly alright, at least later on. At first, he's pretty number autistically, with his stories. But it got a lot better later on. And there were some points where it just, drops the numbers and just, whenever it's feasible, he puts in a number here or there. But it doesn't actually matter. It's not like, okay, you have 17 agility, which means you go so and so many meters a second. You can run this fast. It's not a fucking tabletop game.
Yeah. And it's really important because your stories can get easily undone by trying to put numbers in where they don't really need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh god, okay, fucking fine, let's do this. Oh god.
Oh god. What are we doing?
This story. So this
What's
is
in the upfuck?
The End rekindled. A rewrite of my old fic, The End, a Pokemon story by Delirious Absol. In a world ruled by a wicked Hydreigon, the Pokemon have been split into 3 groups: the Outcasts, the Heretics, and the Darkness.
Christ.
Okay.
All right then.
But when 2 warriors of the Outcast Guild stumble across an odd discovery, it sparks hope among the outcasts. Hope that the darkness will one day be defeated and Pokemon can live in peace once more.
This
So
hurts.
Is this some kind of fucking mystery dungeon type?
Yeah, I
looks
think it
like
might be
it.
a mystery dungeon story.
Oh god damn it!
Um,
Like-
yeah, which was why we won't be reading it. I kind of just saw the author's
Yeah.
note to this and was like, oh, Jesus Christ. So, anyway, edit, updated, and version 3'd my first chapter.
Yeah, that's always a great sign.
Reviews
Like, hey.
posted before 03, 08, 20 will be referring to the original story and not the rewrite. Of the
Did they
rewrite.
get that much shit for it? Holy fuck! All right, hang on, let's check out these reviews, shall we?
Yeah, we're gonna read the reviews in a second as well. Author's note. This story is a rewrite of a previous Pokemon fanfic I wrote 5 years ago called The End. I was pretty stoked at the reception I received on the Cerebi fanfiction forums. However, over the past few years, I feel like my writing skills have improved. This story is pretty special to me, and the concept of rewriting it wouldn't leave my mind. So I decided to give it a go while my main Sonic fic, Why Am I Not Surprised, is on hold due to current events. Also, Max, I'm sorry to say, but if you ever said, like, I'm currently putting my main Mega Man story on hold, I would have looked at you blankly, because you just never felt like a Mega Man writer to me.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. That was what got me into writing, so.
Damn.
I know.
I feel for you, my friend.
I'll tell you, it just doesn't...
I can kind of see where you're coming from, though, because I don't talk about it much.
You don't talk about it ever, really.
Having checked the reviews, about half of them are just the same guy writing, like, every single paragraph play-by-play his thoughts. Which is
those.
retarded.
Raven's Dagger's original stories make succinct medieval gamer systems that I think are a good thing to point towards for future references. Yeah, no, honestly, Raven's Dagger definitely came a really long way, and I did talk with him quite a bit before about his stories. Yeah, no, he's a good lad. Yeah, he's on STM server. And
Despite being French Canadian, he's a good lad.
Despite being French Canadian, it's kind of really surprising. He gets a rake pass. He gets spared the rake, because the day of rake will come
soon.
The leaves shall be raked.
Indeed. And the world shall know peace.
All of Canada dies. Suddenly, all need for war dies as well.
World peace has been achieved, finally.
Everybody, including the Jews, are confused.
The world has moved past the need for Canada.
I'm 19 chapters deep at the moment. I'm enjoying rewriting this. I've been smoothing out the plot, refining areas, and making main plot lines clearer from the start. I hope everyone reading, those who read the original and those who are new, will enjoy what I'm doing here. Please bear in mind this was originally written during Generation 6, which is X and Y. Jesus Christ. I've tried...
What a generation to jump in on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jesus. I was baffled. Also,
Sneaky.
by the way, was it... Yeah,
Don't stave in the capital.
Oh god, yeah. I picked the walnut because the walnut looked cute. And then I started reading up on the walnut's lore, and it's like, the final evolution of the walnut is literally a death machine.
Yep.
I'm just like,
Pokemon
why is the final evolution of this grass type a death mech?
Why not?
It's so fucking random. In a
Okay,
children's
what's your
game.
point? Yeah, what's your point?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Sneaky, it's
on the
it's a
surface.
children's game developed in Japan.
True.
I mean,
They don't treat their children like idiots.
no, I mean, this is, yes, that is fair enough. However, my point being is that, like, literally every other Pokemon so far that's been a starter has been, like, very rare, very strong, you know, it's got some unusual properties to it, And then it's like, yeah, by the way, when this Pokemon evolves, it actually dies and it turns into the capsule for a mechanized Pokemon that only causes death. It's like fucking what? This lore came out of
Based.
nowhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, looking at some of the other lore in Pokemon,
Right, I know, but like all
it's
of the
not the
ghost
most
type,
out there.
yeah, but all the ghost type lore has been just generally like very creepy and dark and etc. But like this is not a ghost. This is just a normal
Yeah.
grass type. That's just like, oh yeah, by the way, its final evolution is its corpse moving around under a machine AI will to kill. It's like, fucking what? This is like some
That's pretty fucking metal.
Digimon tier shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I guess they finally started learning from Digimon.
For once, they took notes.
Yeah,
I do love that that meme, the Digimon evolution meme,
yeah.
where it's like Pokemon evolution, small cat into larger cat with fists. Digimon evolution, small cat into cat with laser eyes, into cat but upright with a minigun and cybernetic enhancements, into God. It's like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Digimon evolutions are something.
It's just like,
Digimon's great.
Fucking Greymon's line.
Yeah,
Someone really, really liked Turok, apparently.
yes. Yeah. And then, yeah, oh yeah, it was Greymon. It was like little tiny reptile dragon dude into bigger reptile dragon
I mean,
dude.
like, not even, like, it goes from fucking Black Kirby to Kirby with
Yeah.
fucking fangs
Yeah, yeah.
to small dinosaur
Yeah.
to fucking big dinosaur with skull helmet to fucking cyber
Yeah.
fucking
dinosaur with wings.
Suddenly, it's a refrigerator
fucking-
with miniguns.
Yeah, then it turns into a mech, and it's like, okay, this is getting weird. It's like hyper mech form Goku, Super Saiyan mode. It's like, what the shit is happening anymore?
Then they started introducing fusions of the final evolutions. Like, oh my god, where do you keep coming up with this stuff? What are you
Yeah.
smoking?
They were on some drugs, man.
Yeah.
I remember the
Refined
small. I remember the small. Oh, bear, and the goddamn yeti that fucking fusion into a fucking penguin.
Oh yeah, that was so weird. That honestly, all of that was so
They
weird.
can't all be winners.
Honestly, that shit was just weird.
That was the dumbest out of everything
Have we ever
I've
done
seen
Grim
so
Mother?
far.
Ever done what?
It sounds familiar. But I don't know if that's from the
I'm
SDM
gonna
or
guess
something.
that this was probably inspired by Core.
This was
let's
posted
see.
back in 2017, so it's a possibility.
Doesn't seem like it. Nope.
When did
Only
Core
one result.
write that?
So this is a Ruby Worm crossover. The Heberts were passing through Ellisburg on the day of Nilbog's attack, and now as one rises from the ashes of loss and death, they learn that in order to fight a monster, one needs to be a better monster. Seven chapters, 37,000 words. Published 2017. Complete fic. So this was actually a Space Battles fic that has been uploaded in one day to fanfiction.net. And is cringe.
Yeah.
The mission had gone to hell. Also, I like how he's like, I'm gonna start cross-posting my work from Space Battles to gain a larger audience. And let's see, actually, has he gained a larger audience from cross-posting this?
Probably not.
Who knows?
No.
It's Space Battles, Space
Why would he?
Battles, Space Battles. Watcher, wow, yeah, Watchers 16. Actually has 1,600 follows on Space Battles. Which honestly, you can pretty much just notate down as just the worm effect on stories. So the real test will be seeing how much the Tanya Cancol gets on Space Battles for us, because Cancol's another fan favorite on Space Battles. So
Yeah.
yeah.
What in the goddamn fuck? Hang on.
Yeah.
What the hell did I add a fucking Lego Agumon? What the fuck?
Okay.
Hang on.
The mission had gone to hell.
Toy Agumon.
That was the one thought that dominated the forefront of Lieutenant Emily Piggott's mind. The local PRT office of Ellisburg had sent a memo that a new master-class parahuman had revealed himself by the main branches took notice that they didn't really do anything. Ellisburg was a relatively small town with one or two minor villains and heroes. It didn't boast of anything of real importance and had no signs of any major problems in the past. Not like cities like Detroit or Brockton Bay. It was assumed the local heroes and PRT would be able to sort through the problem without outside interference. It had only been when all communication with the town had been cut out that the greater PRT realized something was seriously wrong. She had been part of one of the two squads consisting of nearly 40 non-powered individuals assigned to investigation of the town, and if possible subdue the new Cape. They were all trained in tactics to take down a variety of capes, from brutes that could hurdle cars like toys, or blasters that could level buildings. With 20 capes in support, it should have been a simple, easy mission. It was anything but. The self-proclaimed Nilbog proved to be far, far deadlier and more powerful than they could have ever imagined. With an army of monsters at his command, he had torn through the two squads and sent the cowardly heroes running. If what few survivors remained were left to fend for themselves in a city, it was something straight out of a Hollywood horror film. Pigott tried to focus on keeping her legs working as she ran down the abandoned streets. While she had her service pistol in one hand, her other hand was occupied with keeping pressure on her injured side. She could feel warm crimson fluids slip through her fingers with each passing second, her physical exertion only worsening her already bad wound. She knew that the best thing to do would be stop moving and would keep the wound from being aggravated, but her situation didn't allow for such actions. Quick glance back only confirmed her fears. Her pursuers were still chasing her, and worse, they were gaining. They were the unholy amalgamation of cats and dogs. The front of the creatures were obviously canine in origin, and they had been horrifically disfigured. Their mouths had been permanently set into what might be called a smile if one was drunk enough. Their eyes were enlarged to the point of ridiculousness. But it did little to take away from the sheer revulsion of the creature's greasy, furless skin. The back halves of the creatures were no less terrifying or disgusting. It looked like someone had taken the front end of a cat and stitched it onto the spot of the dog's rear. Its features had been horrifically disfigured, like the front side, ears, tails, teeth, everything that had been once natural had been taken away and put through a madman's imagination. The creature's hind legs hadn't even been stitched on, so they were facing the right way. Instead, the front of the creatures seemed to drag their lower body parts everywhere, which was the only reason why she hadn't been overwhelmed by the pack of nightmarish composite animals yet. But even with their apparent sluggishness, they were still gaining on her. With her huge wound taking its toll, it was only a matter of time before they caught up to her, and she would be torn to shreds by their vicious fangs, or worse, she would be dragged off to join Nilbog's ranks as one of his demented goblins. Her brief lapse in focus was all it took for her to miss a chunk of loose rubble from the nearby building. She stumbled forward as she tried to regain her balance, but her wound flared in protest at the sudden movement, and she was forced to the ground by pain. She turned around to see a pack of monsters finally catching up to her, their fangs jutting out of their maws like rusty nails as they stalked forward with the deliberateness of a hungry predator. She aimed her pistol and fired. The first beast flinched, apparently recognizing the sight of a gun. That was all it did. Pigott felt whatever hope of getting out alive leave her body as the gun simply clicked, the ammo spent from fending off other monsters. The apparent leader of the pack snarled angrily as it approached the fallen PRT agent, its glassy eyes glinting in the noonday sun. Pigott tried to pull herself back from the creature's waiting mouth, but it was a futile effort at best. The monstrous canine-cat hybrid opened its jaws while Piglet steeled herself for the pain to come. Then the creature exploded into chunks of viscera and blood. Viscera means blood. So literally, it exploded into chunks of blood and blood. Viscera means more than just blood, but it does mean blood as well. Piglet gagged at the off-green fluid covering her face. As she wiped the foul liquid from her eyes, she got her first good look at her savior, and whatever burgeoning hope she felt for a rescue died. The creature towered over her and the pack of goblins. Even standing up, she would have barely reached the monster's lower jaws. Fur darkened, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Human hands, blah blah blah. It was either a beowulf. Oh yeah, it's a beowulf. So anyway, the beowulf starts tearing into all of the cat dog abominations. The creature turns to her, and Piglet's mind is screaming for her to run, but she can't. And the creature picks her up and drags her away. Blood loss makes her pass out. Stabilized, blood loss, she's lucky to survive. When she wake up, open her eyes, they're made of solid rock, blah blah blah, protect her, blah blah blah. Angry at the heroes for abandoning her. Movement caught her eye, and then she regretted it because her vision started to spin. Tony Jones snapped over with concern and relief, blah blah blah. Emily, you're alright, blah blah blah. You had a bad injury, stay on your back, blah blah blah. So then she says some code, which he responds with another code that's apparently to prove Master Stranger protocols. So here's the thing, is that I never understood about Wildbow's attempt at Master Stranger protocols effectively, right? So I can see Stranger protocols to an extent working with, like, you have to say a code to get into a place and it's unique for every person. And maybe it changes every hour or something, whatever. Okay, fine. And like, if the person's stranger power is they're your best friend who works with you, or they're your boss, and like that's what you see when you look at them, or maybe you don't see them at all or whatever. Yeah, sure, I guess that. But if you're like, we're going with master powers here, like there is literally someone in Canon Worm that can go up to a person, tell them, when you get home tonight, shoot your husband in the face and then rape your daughter until she dies. And they'll be like, okay. And then they'll forget ever meeting the person. And then they'll go home, not realizing they had ever met this person. And then when they see their husband, they'll be like, oh, I should shoot them. And then they go rape their daughter to death. At no point ever, like, thinking they're master. At no point ever thinking anything was odd about what they were doing. So having master protocols of, like, oh, I'm going to rattle off this, like, you know, complicated code. If the person's being controlled, they'll know the code they're supposed to say.
Yep.
Yeah. Turns out it do be like that.
And that person's mother is way worse. Yeah. Yeah.
I've always been bothered by that idea that, like, oh, we have a bunch of protocols involving memorization stuff. Like, the masters that we've seen easily bypass like half of that.
Like, not a single master were ever shown besides Vicky in Worm would have any trouble with master protocols. None of them. And we saw only one stranger, I think, in Worm that we really got any sort of detail on, and that was Aisha, who made people forget about her as her stranger power. She didn't turn invisible, she made people forget about her. So it doesn't matter what protocols. You'd be like, stranger protocol! And everyone would be like, okay, what are we on the watch for? I don't know, I forgot. Oh, that's weird! What's weird? You forgetting. What do you mean I forgot? Well, you said you forgot something. Did I? I don't know.
Alzheimer's.
Like, that's literally how her power works. Is you even noticing things that would make you try and remember her, you forgot.
Sudden onset Alzheimer's.
Literally, that's basically what her power did, yeah.
Yeah.
So all these the only Master Stranger protocols I could ever understand were like, oh, you're acting weirder than normal at this place of work. We're gonna initiate master protocols here and put you into quarantine to you know, like, investigate your like last day's history or something real quick. Which, I mean, I can sort of understand. But at the same time, it's just like, what's that gonna do? Like, unless you telling the person that we're gonna put you in quarantine and prevent you from doing anything makes them go crazy and attack you, it's not gonna prove they've been mastered or not mastered. You know what I mean? Like, that would literally only work on masters who would, you know, be like, they would tell a person, go here and do this thing, and then the person would freak out if they weren't able to do the thing because someone was preventing them. They're like, no, I really have to access my computer. It's like, okay, that is the only sort of master you would suss out with any of your protocols. So it is so fucking pointless. Regent failed master protocols in canon. What the fuck, Sneaky? Regent had control over nerves, dude. That was like a master 1 at best. And like, it took like 2 days or whatever of him training himself on her nerves for him to be able to control her. Yo, wow. He really fucking got caught by master protocols. Yo, amazing. His father's fucking heartbreaker who could walk up to a woman, you know, you could walk down the street wearing a wig or some shit and like be like, hi, Piglet. And Piglet would look at him. And then from then on, she's his slave. And no one would ever know that until he told her to do something un-Piglet-like. Master protocols really worked out there, eh? Like, there is very specific cases that it would catch people on. But too often are they used, and even by a wild bow, at times. But in the fandom, they're really abused. They're used as like some sort of proof that they're taking this professionally and taking it seriously. It's like, no, I'm sorry, but I've worked with government people before. They're not the smartest. They're not the brightest. They're not the best.
They're neither professional nor serious.
And you being like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to send you a code every hour that updates, and you're actually not even gonna be sent the code directly. You're gonna be handed a physical sheet, which then will be giving you a cipher code over the email, which will be then relative to the current day and the food we serve in the cafeteria, and that's gonna be your code that you have to memorize. It's like, why?
I mean, in terms of inefficiency, it's very government.
It's very government in its inefficiency, but no one would propose it in the first place because of how useless it would be.
Yep.
Like, on the first day of them implementing this program, everyone would be going into master quarantine because no one would fucking remember their shit.
Yep. Because people are retarded. And also, that policy is especially retarded.
I mean, not only are they dumb in general, people are also lazy. People are forgetful. They're like, oh, you know, they go out and do something, and then they come back in. Like, so they went out to get lunch, but lunch took a little bit longer today to grab from the local store. And they get back in, they're like, what's your master code? And you're like, oh, I don't know, Alpha Tango 7672. And it's like, nope, it's been 15 minutes since that's updated. Quarantine them. It's like, okay. Oh, my lunch took long to get today, so I couldn't access my code, so now I'm in quarantine for the rest of the week. Wow.
Oops.
Effective.
Unfortunate.
So anyway, also on top of that, if it's like, oh, a cape is using their powers on you to like see people to make them look this way and talk this way and act this way, it's like, all right, so what you're saying is them having a code to respond to your code is like that's specific to you, like every person's assigned a code for every other person they're going to be working with.
Yeah, we already have a system like this, pretty much, like many websites use it. It's called two-factor authentication.
Right.
It's good enough.
But yeah, but that uses machines to talk to each other.
Oh,
You're not.
the machines.
This would be like you having to go to school, but to get into the school, you have to say the code that was given to you by the principal. That you have to say to your teacher, and the teacher has to respond with the code that's specific to you. But then, as you're walking down the hallway, you meet another student, and then they have to say the code that's specific to greeting you, and then you have to say the code that's in response to responding them. It's like.
Yeah.
You have to do that for every student and teacher you see. It's like, no one's gonna memorize 30-something codes for that only that hour.
Yeah.
No, it's not happening. And on top of that, as I was saying, so if someone's messing with your senses, right, and making you see, like, maybe you're someone who your power makes everyone see you as a relative or something, or a friend or whatever, and everything you say to them is rephrased into their mind as what that person would say to them, right?
Sure.
So why would a code stop that? If in your mind they're supposed to respond with a certain code, why wouldn't that illusion respond with that code?
Yeah.
Like, again, that only stops the people that don't have access to your mind. Like, that only stops the people that can only cast illusions on things that they've seen. Like, so, like, if they were like, oh, I've seen this person interact with this person before. I've seen person A interact with person B before. So you go up to person B with an illusion of person A, but you can only make them say and do and act in the way you've seen person A do before, so they wouldn't know any of the information person A knows. That is the only person it would catch. It wouldn't catch any other flavors of illusion. So look, all I'm saying is adding to your world any form of common mind control. It's just a bad plan. It just complicates so many things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, say having like it be hyper rare, that can still work. You wouldn't need to create entire government agencies around trying to counter it. But if it's common enough, if it's so common it deserves its own category of common powers you have to deal with, the world wouldn't function.
Yeah.
Unless Master Stranger protocols are actually a bait set up by a Master Stranger Illuminati who specifically implemented these protocols to be useless.
It's set up by the BDSM Foundation.
The BDSM Foundation, indeed.
Oh god. Okay, that's pretty funny. Fucking newest thing in VTuber hell. Let me read that. Hi, you used through them, blah blah blah. We want to let you know our team review your content, and we think it violates our violent criminal organization's policy. We have removed the following content from YouTube video: Gargura Sings compilation part 11.
Violent
Yago?
criminal organization policy.
Yeah, Yago, more like Yakuza.
Yeah, apparently Rucka Rucka has been hit with the violent criminal organization policy.
Yeah, but like, Rucka Rucka is one thing, cause he makes parody songs about political stuff.
Well,
Like,
yeah, sure. I mean,
fucking
obviously.
Taliban, Al Qaeda, all that kind of stuff. So sure, like it makes more sense than fucking Gargura sings compilation 11. Not saying it like makes a lot of sense,
You don't know,
but
man. You don't. You don't know that.
maybe Gargura is actually a member of the Bloods.
Gargura actually invented the Bloods.
True.
Anyway,
Gargura is
so,
part of the Sicario cartel.
blah blah blah. Are you okay? What's that mean in English, Doc? We gave you your blood back. Your kidneys are fucked up. And blah 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 blah. Online school outside of Ellsberg. Cadmus's help. Who's Cadmus? She's the reason why we survived. She triggered during Nilbog, and she got her own summonable creatures. She's been using her creatures to hold off Nilbog. Until they come, we're stuck here. 300 civilians. What about agents? That's us. Blah blah blah. How long until reinforcements? Unless Cadmus's runners manage to get out of there, and none are coming. You heard me. Our radios are busted. Cell towers are down. We have no contact. As far as the rest of the world is concerned, everyone's dead. I want to meet Cadmus. Blah blah blah. So she goes to meet Cadmus, and she's like, "Wow, that's a lot of monsters." And they're all grim. Blah blah, and Pigot's afraid of them. Blah blah blah, more monsters, and they're all grim. And then Annette Herbert looks like a fucking Salem, and yeah, that's how this story goes. It's fucking riveting. There's, like I said, there's literally no point to it. It's not even like Ruby powers show up, and I mean maybe they do. I never fucking read it, but I mean it's not like, you know, Ruby characters end up in Worm. It's literally Annette, Taylor's mom, gets Queen of Grim power and fights Nilbog for 7 chapters, and then the story ends. Like, literally ends. The author marked it as completed. Like, after 37,000 words, the story ends with that. And it's just like, okay, fine. So, anyway, that's all for tonight, gentlemen, because I'm gonna go eat some food.
Understandable.
Yep.
But, yeah, as I mentioned before on Discord, this is pretty much gonna be the last podcast for a while. The plan is that I'm gonna be packing up this weekend, and by Monday, I'm going to be shipping out to the Wide Yonder. So...
It's going to Chicago, maybe. Almost.
Yeah, I'll be pit stopping in Chicago, not only because of Atin helping me out on that end, but also because I have to travel to Chicago anyway to get to my destination. So I was like, fuck it, why not? Yeah, it's not so much Chicago. It's like a good 30 minutes from Chicago. So
Alright, well,
I'm hoping to put myself an hour from Chicago.
is that the minimum?
It has a sequel though. It probably has a sequel. I don't pay attention to this dude. This dude's fucking garbage, man. But yeah, that should be about it. And then so once I get out there, it's gonna take about a week. And then I have no idea how long it's gonna take for me to find an apartment. Housing is crazy right now, especially with all these moratoriums. All of these apartment complexes are failing and having to declare bankruptcy and shit.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's the dumbest shit. Literally, our government initiated a moratorium on paying for rent, but they didn't issue a moratorium on the landowners having to pay anything. So all of these businesses and homeowners that just had like an extra house they were renting out have had to pay as if they were being paid every month, but they weren't being paid every month.
Yeah.
It is so fucking dumb. But yeah, so because of that, I have no idea what's gonna happen by the time I get out there. For all I know, I'm gonna get out there and turn out I'm not gonna be able to find anywhere to live, and I'm just have to turn the fuck back around and just live in Florida for the rest of my life, and then probably shoot myself as the world goes into flames or whatever. I don't know. So yeah, we'll I'll update the Discord when my movements are happening, and whenever they see me again is when they'll see me again. Expect 1 to 2 weeks, maybe a month.
Yeah.
But that is what it is. So
Just how it be sometimes.
we will reconvene. There will be more episodes in the future unless I die, because of course there is always more, and it always gets worse.